So this is the call to order for the March 25th, 2025 meeting of the Bristol Development Review Board. We have a quorum. And any additions, adjustments to the agenda? Seeing none, we'll proceed to the new business. We have before us one item. It's a sketch plan for permit number 25-400 Carter Family Trust of South 116 Road, parcel number 110105-1. Applicant is requesting sketch plan review for a 2-lot subdivision, which is governed by section 920 of our regulations. So Jason's here. You want to come up and present, Jason?
Absolutely.
Who else is here? Yeah.
Jeffrey Carter, if you want to come on up.
Ask you in here. Yes, Ted, I'm gonna swear him. I can feel you.
Well, you better.
Daggers.
So keep that in your mind
There you go.
for the next 10 seconds.
I'm gonna do it right now, man. So, all three of you, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the evidence you shall give before the Development Review Board should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Thank you. So you wanna walk us through, Jason?
Gladly.
I've got a couple questions.
Sure. Obviously, the introductions, Jeffrey Pamela Carter, Carter Family Trust. Parcel they own, about 4 acres, plus or minus in size, has not been surveyed. We have been relying on the tax maps and deeded dimensions, and Mr. Carter's knowledge of the property to, establish those boundary lines. So we do show what we believe to be close to the representative boundary on the south line that's there. We also have,
The black dash.
actually, it's the orange,
The
kind
orange,
of
okay.
faded to the
Yeah.
background.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
The black dash is the tax maps, and that's been put into bold.
yeah, which is questionable.
Yeah, which is, that's the questionable line. Obviously, we'll figure that out when we survey.
How long you folks owned it?
35 years.
What's the deed say, like, to the old elm tree?
It's,
no longer there?
No, it's actually got some deeded.
Meets and bounds?
Start that corner and you follow the fence line back to that stone wall and then.
Okay.
down, and
Yeah.
there's a post and then back.
Okay.
It's actually pretty well, it's pretty well defined that the tax maps are funky.
Yeah,
That's all.
that's not the first time.
No, and if we blow off the tax maps and use just this, then we have parcel lines. Looks even more,
And they overlap.
and yeah, it looks different.
So you're gonna survey before
Oh, we'll have a complete survey.
by the time you come
Yeah.
back?
Absolutely. 4 acre parcel, obviously in an area with well-drained soil, so I know that's not gonna be an issue, and there's been previous testing on the property.
We're in RA1, right?
Yep, you're in the RA1 district.
So minimum lot size is 10,000, so we're well above that.
Yes, absolutely.
And there's an
Acre and a half in the front, that will include
existing home.
existing barn.
No, that's a barn.
That's
That's a barn.
all a barn, okay.
Yeah.
Our home is.
Oh, I see. So,
Um,
I see you have a proposed building site on lot 1 as well.
Yep.
Okay,
with the agricultural structures
yeah,
that are existing, and then one more parcel in the back. That would be about 2.5 acres, so about 1.5 acres out front with a home and the barn,
yep.
and then 2.5 acres out back, plus or
It's-
minus.
And so you're on 116, so you've gotta get the highway access from AOT.
Yeah, and actually Jeff can elaborate, but there is an access permit already.
Oh,
There's an existing access that they're gonna have to move it.
I see that's gonna be retired and so
Yeah.
you still have to go get blessed by
They will,
AOT for that, right?
Yeah. Plenty of line of sight,
That's
that's,
a wide stretch, long
it's
stretch there.
it's a long stretch. It's far enough from the other driveways. They look at the separation to where Jeff and Pam's existing driveway is, and then putting it across from the parcel on the driveway on the other side of the road will be, it kind of fits in nicely with the V-Trans regs, so I don't think it's gonna be an issue getting them.
Been in touch with AOT yet to move the driveway or? no?
We will,
Okay.
yep. once we get through this process, that's when all the fun begins, or sketch plan.
Sure.
Set to dig and evaluate test pits next week with the state engineer. That will be done April 1st. Once we have that and we've identified areas that are suitable for wastewater, my survey guys are all ready to go and start the boundary survey.
So
So
it's an area that perks well
it does.
over there.
Obviously, there's Rathburn's gravel pit right on the other side of Notch Road, and it's been tested before as
In
well.
2004, we had it tested and approved and got a building permit from the town,
Okay.
and we never built.
Okay.
Just no state wastewater permit. And it was before that, the 2007 time.
Okay. So you'll be in the works pretty soon on the wastewater.
Yeah, we'll be rolling once we get through the survey part. And I would expect that that'll probably be the week. Test pits next week, and the week after next, we'll be down there with boots on the ground doing the survey.
You hoping to get something in the ground this year?
For building?
Yeah.
No, just the driveway,
Okay,
and a reconfiguration of that. And, communications and electric service.
okay, sounds good.
So probably stuff to the interior lot would be the most favorable.
Right, yeah, we are close to do underground, we've got a driveway coming in, underground electric and communications back to this, to the lot two B, lot two, I guess.
Lot two.
And then there will be an option for the front lot already has power off the one pole.
Hmm.
There would be an option to then take power off the same pole that this power is coming off.
Yeah.
Again, underground.
No, that all sounds fine. I just wondered whether you were in a real hurry and wanted to really move here. There is even a sign that spring might be coming here soon.
We're hoping.
No, we-
Calendar is on our side, so we know it's coming eventually.
This is spring. So you're gonna have to,
Close, it's close.
lot two is gonna have to have a deed right away.
Yeah.
On lot one.
Correct,
For
yeah.
the access.
Yeah.
And that'll be in the deed.
And. I'm not sure. Well. That looks like a turnaround that Chief LaRose will like.
Yep, and we did actually look at the fire standards, and that's
Yeah.
what it's based on.
Yeah,
So
so-
when we get to, obviously, this is sketch plan, when
Right.
we get to final design, we'll have that
Yeah. Just get,
T hammerhead or the
Yeah.
hammerhead.
yeah, just get the,
Mhm.
get the. Since this is a 2 lot, it's a minor,
Yep.
we'll only have one hearing. So come in with that. Letter from the fire chief.
Fire chief.
Fire chief saying, we love the turnaround.
Yep.
And that the travel way is wide enough for 2
Right.
emergency vehicles.
And we've already contacted somebody to put that in, and he seemed to know a lot about widths and all that.
Yeah. And we'll have it, once we get through and it's outside of the sketch, we'll have everything on our site plan. with them.
Yep.
Details.
So you own the one up next to the Notch Road as well? And, but that's previously been divided off or separated, or,
Yes, we live in a home on the corner lot there. It's a 1 acre lot that's been there for 200 years.
oh, okay, so,
And then
so it's
this is-
it's always been considered separate.
Yeah, there's
They,
a,
they don't
There's
touch.
another property between.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cause it's hard to tell on this.
yeah, so that's under separate ownership
Ah,
right there. Those properties, both owned by the Carters, are not contiguous.
okay, I couldn't tell.
Yeah, there's not a
I
lot
think
in this one.
The
But,
big map shows it a lot better.
yeah, but. What you do, which is helpful, is you give us a legend on all the different lines, I think that's. really helpful because
We wouldn't be doing our job if we didn't.
some folks would differ on that. Anyway, that's what personally I find really helpful when I write up the decision,
Thanks.
and AZ finds it helpful. When she's figured out if people have followed what the plans do, ask does anybody else who comes and looks at the recorded Mylar down the road. So I think it's just the way to go. Any other questions from the board?
Looks good.
No, sir. Looks like a good plan.
You happy, Dale?
Straightforward.
Yep.
Good.
Good, yeah, good. All right,
Okay.
you guys have any questions for us? No questions?
I don't.
So when you'll let AZ know when
Yep.
you're ready to go, and she'll get the hearing warned. And we'll only have to have one, and chances are that's all we have. It's, somebody came in and complained and there was some issues, you'd end up with more, but that never happens.
Yeah.
Almost never.
Say that.
Never. Yeah, never.
Almost never happens. So you can expect, one hearing and then we. It'd be 30 days.
Yep.
From the decision before it's final, the field period has to run, even if nobody's coming up here anyway.
We're looking, April will be the field work side of things for us, getting
Yeah.
that done, the test pits, the survey, then we'll get into the design and we'll get. Once we're ready to submit here for the final, we'll already have the state wastewater
Yeah, so
application
you
and
think-
stuff ready to go.
Summertime then?
In the agency transportation.
Yeah, they're usually pretty good, yeah. That's a pretty quick form. That they'll wanna meet, I'll probably just have you meet them and then stay come out and meet
Yeah,
them.
I've dealt with them.
Yeah.
So you're thinking summertime probably?
Probably end of May.
Oh, that way, okay.
Yeah. Great couple of months.
Okay,
Get through everything, yeah, busy time of year, we're trying to,
yeah, very good.
got a few things stacked up, we had about a month where we couldn't survey efficiently, so.
Yep. Okay,
Shoot for May 27th.
Okay, when would we have to have the submission in by?
For May 27th, yeah, 3 weeks on the Friday. So the 9th. So I can, actually, hold on, let me go get my handy dandy spreadsheet.
don't box yourself in, AZ.
I know.
We'll shoot for it, I'm always,
Well, we could, I mean,
It could be.
nothing wrong
Could
with
be
the
the
next month.
second Tuesday in June.
okay,
Maybe second Tuesday is better, well, it's up to you guys,
Yep.
if things come in, but she's gotta get notice out on the paper.
Yeah,
It's
15 days.
Addie Indy, it's. that doesn't-
that's the, at least for the Addy Indy, I do it 3 weeks prior.
3 weeks, okay,
Um,
so we'd be looking at
Well-
around some May 6th or somewhere.
yeah,
Okay,
just so that it, because the paper, I just send it on that Monday and it gets in for the Thursday,
okay,
okay.
okay.
Cycle.
We'll shoot for that, that's doable, it's an aggressive
Yeah, well,
timeline.
if it's a little too tight, it's better to be second Tuesday in June and
I can,
not have to vote.
yeah,
Do we have anything else on that May date? Not yet.
No,
Yeah, that's the worst, if we have to commit, or geared up for that, now we have to vote.
yeah, no, we'll,
yeah, you can reach out to me whenever you have things ready.
we're usually pretty efficient. I got another guy.
We jinxed this thing from both sides.
No, except for the Thomas one, that took a little bit, but.
All right, well, good. Thank you, folks. We'll see you in a couple of months.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hopefully a short meeting for everybody.
Yeah. Anything else?
Minutes make it crazy.
Oh, yeah. We have minutes?
Yeah, we got minutes to approve.
I think it's longer.
They might be underneath.
Are the minutes from last month, are they published? Are those,
The draft one should be on the website.
they're on the website, okay.
Yeah, they're.
Yeah, there's.
Say nothing much. Oh, the minutes, they're good.
Yeah.
Very straightforward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, additional background on, last meeting. Didn't have the permit in front of me, so I didn't want to say, so, because my memory was correct, so. What Brian was complaining about was. I go over when I'm writing the decision, I crawl over the plat, and one of the things I noticed that we didn't notice during the hearing is it had the wrong parcel number on it. So, that's gotta be corrected, and, while you're at it. Start doing this, because it's so much more helpful, than sorting out all the different lines, so.
Mhm.
Since. He never asked for, read the permit.
But-
He didn't know
The
that-
decision.
that, the permit said you gotta do these two things, and. Not our fault, but. His client doesn't give a permit, or he doesn't read it. Whether you're here or not, you read the permit before you produce the Mylar, so. And some of you might not know this, but, so the Mylar, it's that kind of transparent, plasticky representation of the subdivision plat. That gets produced and comes to AZ, and there's a stamp on it that this has to be recorded within 180 days. There's a stamp on it that I have to sign and certify that this is the plan we approved at the hearing, so. I don't sign anything if it's not, if it's not right, because after that, once I sign that, boy, you've got a mess if there's a discrepancy, so. Knowing that, I'm pretty careful, try to be careful when I'm writing up the decision. If I find something like the parcel number is wrong.
Yeah.
You just gotta fix it.
It's gotta be changed.
Yeah, just fix it, but the upshot of it is, hey, read the permit decision before you produce the Mylar, so.
What's the point of doing it on Mylar?
It lasts,
And I think it's required, right?
yeah, I know,
It's also-
well, she's
It's
asking
also
why,
legally.
why
reproducible.
why is Mylar required? It's a good question, I don't know, I think it's better, it lasts longer, paper is. Fragile over time, Mylars are pretty substantial.
Or
It probably doesn't make a difference so much anymore, but it used to be a lot more reproducible because you would make a blueprint of it. Nowadays, they just copy it. But that's why it was originally Mylar.
They're in big hangers in the land records.
Okay.
So if somebody wanted to come in and either was interested in the property or, thought, well, I'm not sure that they're doing what the permit requires, that's where they go, that's the official record of
That's what I'm,
what the subdivision permit is.
that's what I'm using most days if I'm looking up properties that are applying for building permits and I'm looking for wastewater or existing conditions or looking to see where the actual property lines are, because like Jason pointed out, the parcel map,
Tax maps are.
the tax
are not-
maps
are not accurate.
are not accurate, which
Hmm.
actually
Or are sometimes maybe even often not accurate.
yeah, which is something that I'm actually working on outside of DRB work,
Yeah.
trying to get those updated.
It's understandable because a lot of deed descriptions in Vermont are, out to the elm tree and then, then north by northwest 200 feet to some gate that's no longer there, so.
Well, that's
The
exactly,
elm tree's not long.
And the
Yeah,
elm,
right.
the elm tree's long gone.
Elm tree,
Or they
that's
used
how it's
wooden
taken out.
stakes.
Yeah.
they'll-
Yeah,
they'll
I try to
say-
stay away from those. Thank
They'll
you.
say something like, to Mr. Jones's boundary line,
yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah. you
my
gotta fig-
parents bought a very old farm, and that's what it is, and near the road, there's a piece of land that their neighbor has been argued with them for the,
Sure.
until they died, actually.
Yeah, no, I just, yeah, so,
And as far as my parents could tell, they actually owned a piece of the front lawn of the neighbor.
yeah,
But they thought they owned the,
it's, when we've got deeds like that, we're doing a transaction, our paralegals have to go back and reconstruct the lots around with ownership, because a lot of times it is defined by ownership, the Tinsley farm or the
oh, yes.
and it's long gone, so.
And if you let somebody build a fence on your property, say 6 feet off their property onto your property,
Yeah.
it becomes their property after a while.
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
It
Yeah.
can. Well, it
16
can.
years. Yeah,
Well, we used to
Yeah.
have. That's why we have fence viewers, and they were, there
yeah,
was something called Devil's Alleys, I think they were called, historically in Vermont, there were parallel fences,
Mhm.
and there's an alley in the middle
mhm,
between them, and it was because of that problem,
Mm-hmm.
and it also could run livestock up and down that, I think it was called Devil's Alley, something like that. Anyway, that's the background on that, so, I think it's a good idea for us, whoever brings in a survey, for us to make them do this, to give us all the different lines on the map here, over
in a
here,
legend.
in the legend, because it just,
Yeah, that is a really good idea.
you know, it's just helpful, especially when you've got contour lines on the subdivision map sometimes, and it can just get too busy.
Yeah. This is kind of administrative, but I'm gonna work with Brett LaRose to kind of put together some standards for road safety and accesses. To kind of serve as the letter from the fire
Yeah.
chief.
Yeah.
But that is still a baby project
Yeah.
in the fledgling moments, but I figured since this is a something that's being asked for more and more
Yep.
from the board, that
Yeah.
having,
That's a good idea.
yeah,
You know, yeah, and I think we'd still always want the fire chief's blessing.
yeah,
But it's something to give to the people ahead of time for
Yeah.
planning purposes.
yep.
Okay, we got the,
Do you want to approve the
And-
minutes?
yeah, I was already packing up, sorry. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes?
Yeah.
Has anybody have any changes? Corrections? Okay, so who was there? It was me, Rebecca, Ted, Dale, and John, so.
And Brenda.
Oh, Brenda down there. Good.
That new
so-
line gets us every
Yeah,
time.
it does. It's me, right? All right, so we've got 5. So all those in favor of approving the minutes of February 25th as written?
I,
Right. All right, so that's 5-0, and we're done.
that's simple.
Reminder, next meeting, April 8th, I will send out materials tomorrow.
What
Along with the agenda.
we have for that?
It's the final plat review for Rennie Carpenter.
Oh, yeah.
Rennie,
Yep.
not
But not Clark's, over here?
the Clarks got their final. That was
Did we vote on that?
the
The Clarks?
the 2 lot. That was January 28th.
Okay,
I think you might be thinking about Callahan Butler, who was
be.
the applicant, who missed his meeting last time. I don't think he'll be going forward with his application at this time. I reached out to him, so.
And there's a problem with a curb cut with his. thing?
The state requested that he, do like move the entrance up further north and then come down at like a 90-degree angle and then come to the subdivisions, and he just didn't want to do that. Which is fine, but
Mhm.
just an update.
Wonder what their reasoning was. Maybe it's just like wanting it spaced off of other driveways more or something.
sightline.
I think it was,
Already
It should be sightlines over
Yeah.
there. It's pretty flat.
They do have some internal standard about how close, even if the sightlines are good, how close driveways can be. So maybe it's,
And what about how close a driveway can be to a road coming in?
It's
Uh,
all existing right now. I mean,
Yeah.
You've got a trailer there that they rent.
uh-huh.
I don't know if it's
Alright,
an
I think
official
it's a-
cut though.
I think it's, maybe not. You
Might
may
not
right.
be.
yeah, I think that's why they were definitely like, you can't use this.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have to do it by our
That's
standards,
yeah,
but
yeah.
Anyways.
I expect
Okay.
existing
The thing that's too bad is this one we reviewed today,
Mhm.
Callahan's lots are right here that he wanted to do.
Oh, really?
This would have been fun to share a
Oh.
driveway
Oh,
if they were talking to each other about it. And yeah, he was gonna come right here, remember?
yeah.
And
Yeah, I
go
didn't put
that
I
way.
didn't put the names
Yeah.
together.
I only did because I'm like right here, so I'm very interested in this area. But yeah, if they shared that driveway, it would probably solve Callahan's problem.
I can put two neighbors in a room and see what happens.
I know it's kind of those things, like I'm tempted to just like text them and be like, hey, by the way, the neighbors to the south of you are subdividing, you might wanna talk to them, hint, hint.
Mm.
But
It's not a bad idea. AZ should mention that to them.
Yeah, I can
Neighbor anyway, you must.
I can put two neighbors in an email.
they're busy though, they run the cow farm, so I hardly ever run into them.
Perfect. Well, I'll see y'all next month.
Where's the land that we're talking about next month? In other words, the name doesn't.
Oh, it's up on Ireland Road and up Meehan.
That's
That
no, the
intersection.
one we're talking about next month?
On
Yeah.
April? Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's the one where up
There's a gravel pit that's been going on for years.
yeah,
Oh,
I
that
don't
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Mr.
Thank you,
Anderson,
Tom.
we're gonna have some hard
All
work.
right, good night all.
Good time.
Bye, Tom.
Thank you for your service.